Welcome to the Good Karma Sportfishing Podcast. I'm your host, Captain Ryan Van Fleet.
And welcome to the Crush It in Sales Podcast and the Good Karma Success Podcast. I am your host, Melinda Van Fleet. And today, this is just a special little bonus podcast episode because it's kind of like the final drum roll before the book that we are co-authors in releases on Wednesday, November 11th.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, very cool.
It's been a long time, and I feel like I've been talking about it for months, and we've definitely been in a marketing blitz for the past week or so, couple of weeks. I don't even know. Time goes by so fast.
Yeah, very quickly.
It's kind of crazy.
Yep.
But the book series that we are part of, it's the 4th Annual International Bestselling book series called Brilliant Breakthroughs for the Small Business Owner. And I decided to sign Ryan up, which is kind of what I do a lot.
Yeah.
I sign Ryan
up.
I
wake up one morning and say, oh, we're going to do this. And I was like, okay.
And luckily,
just tell me when and where I have to be.
He's a great sport. And I decided to be part of this book series that I had heard really great things about through my friend Susan McCushion because, gosh, it was just a great opportunity. It was a great opportunity to become published authors in this crazy year, 2020. It was a great opportunity to collaborate with other very successful authors and small business owners and the business coach and founder, Maggie Mongan, to learn a lot about writing a book, to learn a lot about Amazon, to learn a lot about marketing and editing and all this fun stuff. It's been just a really, really great experience. And the title of our book chapter is Building Confidence Along with a Successful Business from the Ground Up. And what I thought we'd do really quick on this episode is just share 2 little sections. One I will read, which is the beginning of the chapter, and then a section of the chapter that Ryan will read, just so people can get an understanding of the book and that we really share a lot of business stories and tips and tools to really help other small businesses and entrepreneurs. And you know what? You don't even have to have your own business to buy this book and read it because there's just life tips in here too. All sorts of things from imposter syndrome to financial tips. It's just a really awesome book. Each of the authors were 9, I guess you could say. We're chapter 7, but there's 9 authors in general. So the 8 other authors, if you put it that way, are all extremely skilled, talented, super nice, and collaborative, and have amazing things to share. So I'm going to kick it off and read the beginning of our chapter, and then I'm going to pass the book to Ryan to read, and then we'll just have a little light discussion, and everyone can start to purchase the book starting Wednesday, November 11th. On Amazon, you can buy the Kindle. For the release day, it'll be 99 cents, and there'll be a soft cover book and a hardcover book, which is really cool. And the cover is a really pretty amethyst, aka purple, color. So if you're on Amazon and you're pulling it up and you see the other colors as well, not saying don't buy those books, but those are the previous years, and the book that we're in is the purple color. So here we go. I'm actually going to read. Wow. I don't read when we podcast, so this is a little different.
I know
we just talk. All right. I will never forget the day I looked at my husband, Ryan, and said, "You're getting your captain's license. You need to work for yourself." He stared at me, probably scared shitless, as we had no experience, business training, or money to start what is now Good Karma Sportfishing. I remember when he got his captain's license and we bought our boat, the Good Karma. The phone would ring with an inquiry, and he would look at me with a blank stare, wondering what to say. We would scramble for words, which eventually became a well-oiled script. Comments such as, "You must be a new captain," eventually subsided and things got easier. What changed? Confidence. I appreciate this quote by the Dalai Lama. With realization in one's potential and self-confidence in one's ability, one can build a better world. Ryan started to build his confidence. Hence, he's building a better world for himself and others. Does that bring back any memories?
It does. It does. Oh my gosh. Yeah, a lot.
And it's funny because it's been so long that honestly we don't think about this or talk about it that much.
No.
In regard to going through all the motions. Even when you started your newsletter, you know, you were like, what do I say? What do I do? Right?
Yeah, no, I don't talk about that a lot. It's some of it I wanted to block out because I didn't want to remember it because some of it was just horrifying.
Yeah.
In my mind, you know, but yeah, I took each one of those steps and I was kind of like, it's so funny, but you really don't think, you really try to block things out. But what happens with me is unconsciously, I'm having trouble talking this afternoon, is that I was in the back of my brain, while I didn't know this, I was actually learning from mistakes. And I didn't realize I was even doing this, to be honest with you. I would make a mistake and unconsciously I would like pull these things in my mind and I was able to, okay, these little bits of this stuff, like if I'd have a bad trip or if I'd have somebody make a comment about that, I would like, you know, it seems like I dwelled on it, but in the back of my brain, it would pick apart the things that I could do to learn from this. And I didn't even realize that was happening. So that's something that a lot of people need to, you know, kind of think about, is that you may not think that you're improving because all the emotions that are involved with everything, but in the back of your brain, there's something there. If you really want to do it bad enough, then there's something there that's going to help you. And it takes a while for it to come out. But there was something there, and I didn't even realize it was there, to be honest with you. It was just like, it would help.
Yeah.
And it helped me like really fix mistakes and learn from mistakes and help me build the confidence that I needed. Whereas slowly over the years, it really started to like come out more and be stronger. Mm-hmm. So, and that happens with the more confidence that happened as I was building confidence. So there was something there like pushing me.
Well, your why. You wanted to be
I wanted to be successful and I wanted to learn, I wanted to fish.
So your desire, your why for doing this was stronger than all the negativity of the people.
Right.
Even though it stung, I remember.
It stung.
I remember hearing things and being like, "Oh God,
some people
really not a good day."
Yeah,
I just learned not a good day at all.
Yeah, that's why I started learning about it's like, oh, I'm not even going to get into it.
But you pick yourself back up.
But I picked myself back up.
And you keep going.
I love what I do so much that it was just there. That's what the motivation was the passion for the fishing and for what I was doing and being able to have this gift to be able to do this. And it was there. And that's what it was. And that's why I was able to learn from my mistakes, and it just kept me going, was that passion and love for what I do. And then I tell people, if you really love it, that love is going to really, really stand out over everything else and get you through stuff.
Yeah, and you just keep pushing through all the uncomfortable moments. I mean, that's really what it is. When someone rips on you and, you know, says things like what you had, oh, you must be new, which was countless times, which was extremely uncomfortable, you just kept going.
Yeah.
And you know, eventually they can't say that to you anymore, right?
Right.
Because
they can't.
You've worked on that.
Yeah, they can't
say that anymore.
Can't say that anymore. It was about, and you know, I did things a little differently. I developed my own style. So I heard it from other captains too. You know, it's like, oh, you know, and what I learned is that because I was doing the things I were doing, and I was like, why aren't these guys doing this if they're supposed to be so good at it? Mm-hmm. And then I learned that they didn't really know how to do it.
Or they just wanted to stay in their lane, which is totally fine.
Yeah, and then they just wanted to stay in their lane, and they try to keep you. It's a weird vibe. So it's about having confidence in what you want to do.
Yep.
And being the person that you are.
And remembering your why, which is one of the tips at the end in the book. We'll save that for the actual book. But here, now I'm going to pass the book to Ryan.
Yeah.
And he can read his little part. I feel like a little story time here.
Oh, I know. So you guys have heard me talk about the Jimmy Jigs thing. I have personally not talked a lot about it because it was extremely emotional part of my life, and when I went through this, and so here's just a little part of the chapter here. It's it's like confidence to know when something doesn't work for you or sound right to you. So Mel and I, here's what it says in the book here.
Just read it.
So
we're not used to reading again.
Yeah, so I'm not used to reading. Here it goes. So it's like Mel and I have taken risks, and not all of them have worked out. Now, one example is when we had connected with a fishing lure manufacturer, or it says in the book, fishing lure maker, based in Mexico. Now, we had asked to be the U.S.-based distributor of this product, and we worked extremely hard for a year and a half on this business. I mean, really hard. We pounded the pavement.
Yeah, there's no words to ever express how hard we worked.
And we built
and money,
and we built it, and we built it quickly. The business was about to turn a profit when the maker decided to compete against us with his website. Now, his website was written in English, and it had a stronger URL than ours, and featured shipping anywhere in the world. And we thought his behavior was acceptable, and we would continue to work with him. It was not acceptable, and we pulled out quickly. All three of those factors made him a competitor, and we were confident in our decision, and we were clear on what we brought to the table. It was the right decision.
So we walked away.
From it.
Because he thought, just to circle back on one of the sentences, he thought that it was fine. I remember that day so clearly.
I remember that when you walked into the door.
You called me. I was on the road.
I called you.
I was up in Boca. And I was tracking the financials. So 60% of our sales were coming from tackle shops, and 40% of our sales was coming from our website. And we were in the red, but if those numbers were to have flipped and been 60% from our website and 40% from tackle shops, we would be in the black, and we were getting there. And we were very close to getting there. So by my estimates, it would have been in the next year. And it was November. I was up in Boca traveling for work, visiting sales clients. And Ryan calls me. He's like, hey, did you see that Jimmy put up his own website? And I was like, well, okay. We knew he was going to do a website. Pretty much everyone and their brother has a website, but what we didn't know was that it was going to be in English. A lot of it looked like what Ryan had done for our website, so he had mimicked a lot of it. And it also said, I will ship anywhere in the world. So normally when you have brands, you have some type of agreement where, he wouldn't ship to the U.S. or some of the other countries that we were already shipping to. We were shipping to Australia. We were shipping to UAE. We were shipping to some islands. And he wouldn't change it. He wouldn't put the website in Spanish, and he wouldn't offer us exclusivity on certain parts of the world. And that was, a huge, huge factor. It just wasn't going to fly. So you can't, everyone was Googling Jimmy Jigs versus Jimmy Jigs USA. So he had the stronger URL. And what's amazing is how people think that you can easily replace people. And, it's just a testament to hard work and how much we put into things.
Yep.
That there was a little surprise on the back end there that, not everyone's easily replaceable, people.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
not everyone works as hard as we do.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a thing, you know. Not everybody.
I knew. I was like, I have a feeling, and I came home, and Ryan and I sat in the spot where we're sitting right now, and had the discussion. So you have to realize where your focus is and how much time and energy you put into something, that if it's not going to make you a profit and work out as you have planned, you might have to pull the plug and just change direction.
Yep.
And we did. We changed direction and went full force into Ryan's business and then my sales business at that time, and stopped focusing on also having a side hustle. And it ended up working out in our favor. So It was just one of those things. And you built amazing relationships.
Right. I built some amazing relationships in the fishing industry.
Mm-hmm.
I really did. I really got to know, I really know the ins and outs of the fishing industry.
And some amazing friends.
And I met some cool dudes.
Yeah. You made some really great friends.
I met some really good friends through that. And people, some are still, some of them are clients, and some of them are like fishing. They're just buddies of mine now, and I've made some cool friends.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yep. And we also learned that being in this industry is really, really challenging.
Extremely. So if you're a lure manufacturer and you think you're going to be the next big thing,
there's a lot of factors.
There's a lot of factors that set in. It's so funny, but
I even have a retail background.
Yeah.
And we got some surprises that I was a buyer for Fortune 500 companies. So I knew how to price things. I knew how to sell things. I knew how to market things. And we still had some learnings pop up that were unexpected. So
taxes.
It's not easy.
Taxes.
Not easy. That excise tax. Whoa, where did you come from?
Excise tax. If you're thinking about getting into the business, you better learn what excise tax is.
Yep, because that's a nice little surprise on the fishing and hunting industry.
Yeah, so if you're making lures out of your house, and you're selling them on the internet, you better look it up.
Yep. So anyhow, but it worked out. And you know what? I never look at anything as a mistake. I've never have my whole life.
No.
I've never looked at anything as a mistake. You always look at it as this was an amazing opportunity that we had, that we did. For a year and a half, we can say we did it, and we have no desire to ever do that again. And we learned a lot.
Yeah, we learned a lot.
And you made some good friends.
Yeah, I made some good friends, and I went out on top with that business. Yeah. I did. I was the one that pulled the plug. We were the ones that pulled the plug. The business was doing really well. Mm-hmm. And I'm thankful we got out when we did, because at that time, everybody was chasing me because of what I did and how I was marketing. And so I was getting chased, and I was like, yeah, this is pretty good. This is a good time to get out. So. Yeah.
So, and you learned a lot about social media as well.
Oh yeah. That
was huge.
Yeah. With social media, that was huge.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So, yeah. So our experience with doing our chapter has been fun. It's been enlightening. It's been bringing up some memories and learnings, and hopefully those are things that people understand why we're sharing them, because we want to help other people. We want to share our tips and tools and learnings. And if someone else is going through any of these challenges, they should definitely know they're not alone. We've been through it.
Yeah.
And hopefully if this can also encourage someone to get out of their comfort zone, right?
Yeah.
And try something. And whether it's trying a business or leveling up their business, or, something at work that you've been thinking about doing, and taking action.
Yep. That's it. And don't be afraid to do it. And you got to take that initial step and get a support team around you. Guys, have people around you that believe in you. That really makes a difference.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So have people around you that believe in you. And then if you're going to have some other ones too that'll come in. It's like, it doesn't sound like a good idea. But the trick is just to tune those people out.
And just keep going.
And just keep going.
Yep.
Because you're always going to have that.
Yep. You're always going to have that.
Always.
So, yeah. So we hope you like our little bonus podcast. And again, the book, Brilliant Breakthroughs for the Small Business Owner, the purple cover, comes out Wednesday, November 11th on Amazon. The digital version is 99 cents. And then there'll also be a soft cover and a hard cover. And besides that, how can people get hold of you, Mr. Ryan?
So you can email me at goodkarmaryan@gmail.com. You can follow me on Instagram at goodkarmasportfishing _FL_keys. And also with the private Facebook group, the Good Karma Sportfishing Podcast Facebook group. So just do a search on that and then make a request to join the group, and then I'll look through everything and I'll approve you if I feel you're a good fit.
Awesome.
So
awesome. And good fit means sharing.
And
because your group is very collaborative.
Yeah, the group is very collaborative.
Yes.
So.
Yep. And I would appreciate it if anyone wished to get in touch with me. You can follow me on LinkedIn, Facebook, or Instagram. And my website is goodkarmasuccesscoach.com, where you can also sign up for my newsletter. That would be fantastic. And in general, we just really appreciate you guys all tuning into this podcast.
Yes, thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Hope you enjoy the book.
Everyone has a lot on their plates nowadays and limited time. So we appreciate you checking out this podcast and hopefully buying the book, and let us know what you think. We'd love to hear from you.
Yep. Yeah, guys. And anytime you're fishing, it's all good.
Thank you.